Alrighty, y'all. My name's Ben. I'm a hillbilly. I'm a redneck. I'm a Buddhist, and I love absolutely everyone. Now this here is going to be my walk-away video there. I seen it online. A lot of that feller, Unsilent Minority, I believe he goes by on Twitter there. He done started this thing about walk away from the Democratic Party. Now I done walked away from the Democratic Party about a decade ago because it did not align with my Buddhist principles. And they done lost their mind on the left nowadays, y'all. I don't know if you've been paying attention much, but like this whole freedom of speech thing, hey y'all, let me tell you something. Freedom of speech is a liberal issue. You know, I think it was Voltaire said, I might not agree with, I'm paraphrasing like crazy here, but he doesn't say something like I might not agree with you, but I'll fight to the death for your right to say it. Now, it's very important in a liberal society that you have the right to express yourself. Now, you shouldn't say mean stuff about people, but, you know, you shouldn't use force on somebody that says mean things. I think free speech is very important. I don't know, it done got hijacked. But, tell you a few things about me here, y'all. I'm anti-war. I'm against all war, totally. I'm against violence. The first precept of Buddhism there is abstaining from killing. It's up for interpretation. Buddhism's kind of like an open source kind of religion there. But, you know, it's open. I interpret it as abstaining from all violence. I don't kill nothing. I don't hurt nothing. Just how I am. You know, I ain't total pacifist. Somebody attacks you, you can use self-defense there to, you know, protect yourself and whatnot. But, you know, I'm a very peaceful person. And I ain't full of hate. And the left nowadays, they full of hate. Well, I done walked away, like I said, a decade ago. Now, I'll tell you, about past few times, I done voted for president. 2016, the best person on that ballot, the best possible person I could have voted for was Ben. I voted for myself. Without a doubt. I still think I don't know. I'm the best person on the ballot. I voted for me in 2016. Now, 2012, I voted for Gary Johnson because I didn't like Obama or who was it, Romney? Dear Lord. Anyway, I done met Gary Johnson at the bar one time. He wasn't drinking. He gave a speech at this bar. I was dating this libertarian girl. Well, she was man. Let me tell you something. After 2008, if you went to any kind of anti-war protest or something like that, you were going to meet, there's two types of people there. Most of them, 90% of them were libertarians. Now, the other 10 were like Green Party people. But any kind of anti-war, anything during them Obama years was mostly libertarians. So I was dating this libertarian girl. Anyway, so we done went to this bar there and I heard Gary Johnson talk. So anyway, I had the opportunity to talk to Gary Johnson for somewhere between 15 and 30 minutes, just kind of a one-on-one conversation. And I don't like the fellow was sharp. I don't know. He done smoked so much weed, I think, from 2012 to 2016. But anyway, I digress. Anyway, I voted for Gary Johnson in 2012 because he's a bright feller. Here he was. Now, 2008, I voted for Cynthia McKinney. She was the Green Party candidate. Now, let me tell you about 2008. So, like, over 2/3 of the country there, I was so sick of George Bush by the middle of his first term, man. I was just over him. So I was all ecstatic like everybody else was that this fella's going to be leaving office. So I go with, you know, I was Democrat my whole life until 2008. So 2008 rolled around there, I start looking, man, my thing is just messed up. But anyway, I go in that first debate. You know, if you would have asked me before that first debate, who's your candidate there? I would have probably, if I had to vote before that first debate, I would have voted for Hillary Clinton. Just name recognition. I don't know. I was kind of blinded and I liked her. You know, I thought she was I didn't know. I did not know the level of corruption of that lady. Anyway, so going that first debate there, I knew three candidates I knew of. There was Bill Richardson. He was a former governor of, or he might have been the governor of New Mexico. I knew him for some reason or another. Maybe because he stood up to George Bush or something. I don't know. And then I knew Barack Obama because I'd seen him on Oprah a couple years earlier. And I just thought Obama, he needed more experience, you know. That's the only problem I had with Obama was I thought he was a little too green, you know. Not green like eco-friendly green, but green like, you know, green like fresh. You know, he was a little too young for me. You know, I thought he needed a little bit more experience. And I knew Hillary Clinton, that's who my favorite was. So going in the first debate, I don't remember the specifics, but I didn't like none of them. Well, the two people who were speaking to me, it was the first couple of debates there, were Senator Mike Gravel of Alaska and Representative Dennis Kucinich of Cleveland, Ohio. Those are the two candidates. Anyway, but by the time it was all said and done, I had fallen in love with Dennis Kucinich. Now that was my candidate right there. That was my candidate. It was Dennis Kucinich. He was speaking everything I wanted to hear. Now, Obama and Hillary, I don't even know what the hell I forget exactly the specifics they were saying, but I didn't agree with none of that. I was like, what are y'all even talking about? Now, Mike Gravel was like, we got to end the drug war. In the drug war. I'm like, yeah, Senator Gravel. And Dennis Kucinich was like, we got to end all these wars, all this surveillance state, all this stuff. And Hillary and Obama were just like pumping the platitudes, you know what I'm saying? I don't even remember exactly the specifics. Now, here's my walk away moment, okay? In the summer of 2008, there's this bill. It was H.R. 6304. It was the FISA amendment. Everybody knows about FISA now. I've been knowing about FISA for a decade, and I don't like Trump because he renewed it again. I don't support nobody that renews that crap. Okay? Anyway, so this FISA amendment, basically, it was, come on, my little kitty cat's over here. Okay, so, what are you doing, buddy? What? What? He said, hey. Anyway, so this FISA amendment, H.R. 6304, I'll never forget it. Because it's the day I left the Democratic Party. I walked away then. So, go on, buddy. You got food and you got water. So anyway, it was called the Telecom Immunity Act. Okay, what was going on with this is Verizon, AT&T, and a couple of telecom carriers there, they were spying on Americans without warrants. So what this H.R. 6304 FISA amendment did was retroactively make it legal. So like Verizon, AT&T cannot get sued for breaking the law. Okay? Now, I'll put a link down there in the description box of an article about what kind of went on with that. So, at this time, Obama had been against it. Okay? This is like all this stuff, you know, this is George Bush neocon crap. This spying on people, you know, and all this illegal spying and surveillance state stuff. Now, this was, Obama had done come out and said he was against it. This is like in April or something. But come the end of June there, he had already locked up the nomination totally. Now, Obama come out and said he was against it. And then when it came down, he voted for it. He voted for this surveillance state stuff. And I done looked up a lot of Obama's voting for the during the Senate. And any kind of war spending, he was like, yeah, funding for war, let's fund all them wars. You know, he'd say one thing and do another. You know, he was very pro, he never once said he was going in that war in Iraq. I don't know where people got up this idea that he was anti-war. He was never anti-war. He said he was going into war in not in Iraq, Afghanistan. He said he was going into war there in Iraq, or get the troops out of Iraq, but he never once campaigned on doing anything about Afghanistan. Anyway, he started, 5 more wars? I can't remember them all. It was Libya, Syria, Yemen, Somalia, and there's one more I think he done started. Maybe Pakistan. I don't know. I think Bush was bombing Pakistan, though. I don't know. I'm against all that. So anyway, Obama done came out and voted yes for this Surveillance State Act. And I was telling my Democrat friends, I was like, Obama just voted for it. And here's what they say. Every time I would say something about Obama not being anti-war, but my ass. How about that? How about have some principles? You know? Anyway, I was like, now Hillary voted against it. So what? Now, man, I just wish Dennis Kucinich would have won, y'all. But anyway, after I did my research on Obama, and he was no different than George Bush. No different. Now, Dennis Kucinich should have won, and I still believe that. What you want, buddy? Go on. Now, I wish Dennis Kucinich would have won, but hey, you can't always get what you want. We'd be a lot better shape now if Dennis Kucinich had won. But ever since then, I was like, the Democrats ain't got nothing to do with me. Now, Democrats weren't even for gay marriage until like, what, 2013, something like that? Hell, I was talking about gay marriage back in the early 90s. But whatever. So anyway, that's why I walked away from the Democratic Party, because ain't no difference in the neocons. You know? I ain't saying walk away to the Republicans, that's for sure. But, the Democratic Party's got to get fixed, and still supporting them, that ain't helping. So I'm a Buddhist, and I done walked away, and that's my little walk away story. I ain't saying I'm a Republican, but I'm a liberal who has nothing in common with the Democratic Party. I don't know, I reckon that's all I got to say about that, y'all. My name is Ben. I'm a hillbilly redneck. I'm also a Buddhist. And I love everyone. I love you. Peace.